Are you empowering yourself, maintaining the power dynamic in your favor? Or are you allowing your power to be taken and stripped away from you? Yes, there are guidelines. And yes, we don't want to be putting people at risk, especially vulnerable people. And I'm not saying to not follow the rules and not do things that are going to create safety. But I'm asking, to what extent are you allowing your power to be taken away? To what extent are you actually giving your power away? Only you hold the knowledge, hold the knowing of what is best for you. You don't need anybody to tell you. You know deep down. It's just, what do you choose to do? We can allow the situation to disempower us. We can be in our victim consciousness about what's happening. This is being done to me. It's so unfair. I can't go anywhere. Things are boring. I'm having my liberties taken away. But it's all an illusion. These are choices that we make to feel, to be in that consciousness, be in that vibration. We make these choices second by second without even thinking about it, because we don't have that space, that gap of awareness to see that we are the makers of our reality. We are the creators of our world. We are the creators in this universe. It's all down to us. How will you create your reality? How will you empower yourself? How will you take your power back? And there's so much fear that we've got to clear around this, because we're worried about what other people will think. We're worried if I get sick and infect somebody. We're worried if I'll get in trouble. We're worried that somebody's going to judge me for making my own choices and knowing what's best for me. And all this stuff gets in the way of us just being confident in our power, in our knowing, and making those choices that we know are right for us. There's so much stuff in the way. Nobody is right. Nobody is wrong. This is another illusion. We've trained ourselves and trained each other to believe that this is right, this is wrong, this is good, this is bad. And we judge each other. We stay in that consciousness. We choose to allow those parts of us that hold that judgment and that hold that consciousness. We choose for that to be dominant, rather than going into that, feeling into those parts of us, connecting deeply with what's underneath that, the vulnerability, the tenderness, the trauma that we've experienced in our life that has formulated these thoughts and these beliefs, this karma, this conditioned identity that we have allowed to take a hold of us and anchor within us. And that is what we project. So we lead with our worries and our stresses and our anxieties on the outside. And that is what we attract. We attract that criticism. We attract that judgment because we are giving that out. And we are attracting that very thing that we need to see what we're giving out so that we can heal it, so that we can give it the love and attention, because that's all healing is. Healing is giving something the love and attention that it needed back then, that it needs now to be seen, to then be transmuted. Because for old, stuck, dense, traumatic energy to be cleared, it's got to be witnessed first in some way, as a memory, or it's got to be acknowledged, the feeling or the sensation or the emotion, or how it plays out in the body and the mind. And through being witnessed and being acknowledged, it will come to learn that self, soul energy is there to help transmute that stuck energy. And then when it's transmuted, we no longer lead with this stress or anxiety on the outside. We no longer attract that into our field. We feel confident in the knowing that I know what's right for me. And I'm not going to let anybody else's fear or projection make me afraid, because that's the thing. It's making me. It's not really making me. That's an illusion that I've created in my mind, because there's this part of me that really wants to blame and make it about someone else, because I don't want to look inside and see that it's all me. Everything in my reality I've created with my thoughts and my mind. I've attracted that in. No one's made me. My blaming is to shift the attention onto the other, because it's too painful to look inside. It's too painful to acknowledge the part that I have to play in this. It's too painful, and it's too unbelievable, and too much of a miracle, and too scary to even fathom that I could be the one with the power to change it all. I could be the one. I could be the one to shift my reality, to bring my power back, to be the miracle in my life. I can hold that power. It's scary. What would happen to me with that power? What would I expose myself to? What would happen? What would I attract? What would I do with that power? There's even a fear of being powerful, a fear of being successful, a fear of being confident in my knowing. Because, let's face it, the reality is that it's not a normalized natural state to be in your full power. And it attracts criticism and judgment from others. And we feel that. We feel it. We see it. But once you clear that within you and you transmute those very fears of those judgments, then it doesn't affect you. It doesn't hurt you. It's something that happens, and it is what it is, and we can have compassion for it, and we can have compassion for ourselves. We can have compassion for this whole situation and everything that's going on, and see it in a different way and upgrade our whole experience of life, and be like, yeah, I'm going to take my power back, because it's fun and it's me, and that's what I'm here to do. And I love exercising it, and you know what? I don't want to live my life any other way. I don't want to take this with me to the end.